Hello, ghouls and goblins, and we're going to talk about what it's like to be a scare actress or scare actor. Well, I started scare acting in 2006. I was 13. I needed volunteer hours, and I did a few nights as a scare actress, and I got enough hours to graduate high school because at my local high school you needed to have a form of volunteer hours to graduate. So in that case, that means if you either go like rake leaves for somebody, you get or do some form of volunteering. I was like, hey, I can volunteer at this haunt and I can get my hours. Cool. Let's do it. I went because they were open only in October, and because it's a seasonal haunt, I said, hey, I would like to volunteer, and can you just sign off on the paperwork at the end of the season or at the end of the night? I had enough hours. I had a little over enough hours. I enjoyed it. They're definitely a community that I would recommend if you're doing a haunt that's volunteered or like a haunt that's like paid. At least if you want to try doing a haunt, I highly recommend it. Do maybe 1 or 2 nights. Try it. If you like it, cool, do it, because it's an experience. I love every moment of it, because either from building to just costume designing for my own characters and just the acting alone, it's fun because you get to see people's reactions. You never know, like, you never know who you're gonna bump into. So for me, or even if you make friends, you can make a lot of friends in the haunt industry as well. So for me, when I started, I was 13, had no friends, nothing. I was very a quiet person, but I went from quiet to I am very much the life of the party. Not really the life of the party, but I am very much, I am here kind of person. I make an entrance every time I show up at the haunt. I am loud. I can be very much obnoxious, but when I show up, I put my effort in. I do the building. I never really knew how to build, but you learn so many new skills when you're a scare actor. You can be a scare actor, you can be a builder, you can be a painter, you can be a set designer. You can do whatever you want. I also design costumes. I do my own costumes. So I'm like a jack of all trades. I do a little bit of everything, but I also do my own makeup too. I just started picking up airbrush again. It's been a hot minute, so I'm learning it all. I'm trying to relearn it all. So, in my theory here is, if you want to be a scare actor or scare actress, I say do it. You will learn a lot. I learned a lot. I have so much still to learn. Let me tell you, you are going to make so many friends. You're going to find bumps in the road. Let me tell you, you know how many times I've fallen in a ditch and then got back out? I am the most accident-prone person there is at this haunt, but still, I have people in my corner. I love the fact that the haunt industry is a very much family. The big word in this is family. I had an accident at one of the end of the year parties, and I was shipped to the hospital. Not shipped in a sale, whatever, but sent to the hospital. And I was getting texts through Facebook and whatever, and they're like, hey, are you okay? And they were very much like making sure I was all right. And someone rode with me, and just to make sure I was okay. So I'm very thankful for the haunt industry family that I have, and even the people from my haunt, because if I didn't have them and they support me in some of the weird things that I do, I wouldn't have like the learning experience I have now. And the ventures I've gone off and done, like try to get my license. A lot of them are very proud of what I've done and whatnot, but you know, it's someone made a TikTok about me, and I had to talk to someone from the haunt about it, and it was very much handled because I didn't know what to do. I was scared, and it was a bad TikTok. It was a very like scary TikTok, like threatening. So I didn't know what to do. I was scared. I had no clue what to do. But they handled it in the best way they ever have. That's what I think is a family. A family who is always there for you. I never knew how to use power tools, and they were there for me to help guide me and kind of be like, this is how you do it. I love when, you know, they're like, hey, we can work on this. Let's work on this, but I'll show you how to use a power tool. I'll show you how to use a drill. Now I have my own drill, and I have my own power tools. I look like I shouldn't have drills and power tools, but when I came home to my brother and I was like, I know how to use a drill. He goes, you really shouldn't have used a drill. But I'm like, I know how to use one. He goes, it took you long enough. You're 32. I'm like, oh well. But to be truthful, for me, I think that haunt industries are the best. I love them. I love seeing other haunts grow, and like my haunt is growing, and I just think it's the best. And I'm so happy to even be a part of it. If it wasn't for me accidentally stumbling upon it for the whole like high school graduation hours, I would have never ever even been able to figure it out and just be like, hey, like I need these hours, you know. I probably would have done something else, but I had a family friend or a relative tell me about them too, and I saw one of their like logo jackets floating around town, and I was like, I want to go there someday. And my mom told me when I was older, so I got older and I went. So I'm thankful for just like being able to go and, you know, be a part of something that's always spooky. Yeah. And I love them. They're definitely a family for me. Even though some of us always fight, but yeah. Stay spooky.